Hi everybody, and welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name's Carol. If you've been with me for a while, then it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming back. And I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It just helps get it. And do a like and comments. I would love to hear from you. As you can probably hear behind me, I'm in the, as you can see, I'm in the garden. You can probably hear the birds. Hang on, I'll stop for a minute. We've got the starlings everywhere at the moment. So if you can hear, let me just stop for a minute. You hear them? They're gathering on the wires around, and they keep flocking down onto the lawn, which is lovely. But yeah, I'm out in the garden, so I thought I'd just explain to you why I'm here. And it's just a quick pop on to share something, and then I'll see what else this week brings. But I'm outside because I'm trying to get out into some light as much as possible. I think I mentioned before that I suffer, not badly, but I do suffer with seasonal affective disorder, and it means that when it gets dull, and this last week it's been just horrible. We've had rain and heavy cloud, and I find I'm going downhill quite rapidly. I get a bit down, I get a bit irritable, I don't sleep well. And as long as I can get out and get some daylight, I'm fine. So today I decided just to pop out in the garden, get a bit of daylight out here. I'm hoping we might get a few more opportunities this week after the awful week we had last week. And of course, that's one of the reasons that we go away in February on holiday. I've mentioned a few times before that we're heading off to Lanzarote in February. That means I get away and get a few weeks of sun. And we'll talk a bit more about that another time. And as we get nearer to going on holiday, I'll share a bit more with you about how that works for me and how we go about that holiday, because it's not quite the same as when we go off to Greece in the summer and things. But today I thought I'd come out in the garden. Just a bit of tidying up, and I've also got a load of pots that I used to have herbs in, which I'll take you around and show you now and tell you what I'm going to be doing about that. So those are the doors that come out from our lounge, and these are the doors that come out from our garden room, and in between there's this piece of wall which about 2 years ago I decided to make into a place for herbs. We've got the lovely olive tree, which I love because it always reminds me of our lovely summers in Greece, but all these pots here have had herbs in, but as you can see, they've either outgrown or died, or none of them are working very well anymore. So what I want to do is I'm going to clear them all out and empty them out today, so that when we come back from holiday, I can actually start growing new herbs. And what I'm probably going to do is buy herbs from the supermarket, the fresh herbs you can buy, and start using those as plants. So that'll be something to show you later, but I thought I'd just show you what I was going to do today while I'm out here and while I'm getting a bit of daylight. So I'm going to get on with that, and I'll catch up with you another time, okay? Okay, so it's late afternoon now, early evening, and I'm just going to get our dinner. I did get everything done in the garden that I wanted to, which was good, and I just had a bit of a afternoon of bits and pieces. And I'm just going to dinner, and I just thought I'd quickly share it with you because it's another Pinch of Nom recipe, but it's one of our all-time favourites. It comes from the original book, and it's called Cajun Dirty Rice. So it's basically rice, and the rice gets cooked in chicken stock. So I'm just getting the water boiled up ready for the rice, and I'll put a chicken stock cube in that. So that flavours the rice. And then the rest of it is basically a lot of stuff fried up with Cajun seasoning. So in it, I will have, it obviously with the Pinch of Nom recipes, it would be bacon medallions, but I'm going to use some bacon lardons. It's minced beef. I've got an onion, pepper, carrot, and mushrooms, and those all get chopped up very, very small, all fried up together with the Cajun seasoning, and at the end I add in some beef stock. So I'm going to get on with that, and you can see me make it, and that's one of our all-time favourites. I'm going to make enough of the Cajun mince for 2 meals, so I'm going to use a whole pack of mince. Half of that Cajun mince I'll then freeze, and then I'll finish it off by adding in the rice and finishing it off. So I'm going to get on with it. I'll just turn you down and you can watch what I'm doing. So while that's cooking, I just thought I'd mention that, and one of the reasons we love this is because this the Cajun mince can be used in all other sorts of ways. So you can make it like a cottage pie with a potato topping. You could add it to passing. There's all sorts, and actually I think Pinch of Nom have several different recipes using this. We love it with the rice, just think it's really lovely. And the other thing to say obviously is this has got loads of veg in it, so it's really healthy. So when this is finished, I'm just going to add the rice and then I'll show it to you as I dish it up. There was something else I was going to tell you, I can't remember what it was now, but maybe I'll remember before I dish it up. But I just thought, oh that's right, the Cajun seasoning. If you can't find a pot, you can buy Cajun seasoning in amongst all the herbs and spices in the supermarket. But if you can't find it, I do have a recipe for making your own. You'll see now I use my own little tub. And I'll put that at the bottom, I'll put that in the description, how you can make up the various spices to make Cajun seasoning, and then you've got it whenever you want it, okay? Anyway, as soon as it's ready, I'll show you me dishing it up, and we're going to enjoy it because it's yum yum dinner, so looking forward to that. Hi everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. I'm going to do another Pinch of Nom recipe for our dinner tonight, and so I thought I'd share it with you, but this one is actually off the website. So I'm actually using the website, which I have showed you before, and we have had this before, but we've had it with chicken. Now we had roast pork on Sunday and I've got a little bit of pork left, so I thought I'd do a chow mein, but I also haven't got all the ingredients that are on their list, but I've got plenty for us to have a meal. So obviously the seasonings are the key thing. They give me all the flavours. So I'm just doing my own version of this. I'm leaving out things like water chestnuts and bean sprouts because I haven't got them, and substituting things like baby corn. So let me show you what I'm using and then I'll get on with it and you can see what I'm doing. So as I say, I've got a bit of pork left from our Sunday roast, a bit of pork loin. So I'm just going to I'll cut that up in a little while. And then I need onion, I need ginger, and I need garlic. So they will be the first things that I'll do. I'll fry those off. And then I want to add in some carrot and some pepper, and some baby corn. And then when I've got all that going, I will add the pork and then I will put all the seasonings in. So I've got, it's dark soy sauce and oyster sauce. It's rice wine vinegar, and spice-wise, it's some Chinese 5 spice. You can get that in this. I've had this for ages, and you know I've had it for ages, so it's gone a bit hard, so I have to chop bits out of it. But you can buy it in the supermarket, so it's fine. So that's what I'm going to do, and then when that's all going, when that's all stir frying, while that's frying off, I'm just going to do a few noodles to go with it, and that should give us a nice dinner for tonight. So I'm going to get going, and you can see how I go about doing what is the Pinch of Nom chop suey. Mine's with pork, on the website it's chicken. once again, as you would have seen as I put that together, we've got the rainbow of colours again. We've got the orange of the carrots, the yellow of the corn, the red of the pepper. You might also have seen that when I use ginger, I grate it into the pan. It often says crushed or finely chopped or whatever, but if I could grate it in, it goes in really well. So that's just keeping warm and cooking through. I'm just waiting for the water to come to boil, and I'll put the noodles in there. They only take 4 minutes to cook, and then when I've dished it up, I'll show you. And Michael and I enjoy a really nice pork chop suey with the leftovers from Sunday lunch. And the other thing to say is, of course, it doesn't matter whatever vegetables you've got lying around your fridge, as long as you just chop them up small and add them in, you can put anything in. You could have broccoli in there if you wanted to. As I say, the recipes ask for tinned chestnuts, whatever they're called, water chestnuts, and bean sprouts. And sometimes I'll buy a bag of bean sprouts, but if I try to buy a bag of bean sprouts, it's too much for the two of us. And the tin ones you can get in Tesco's, but I can't be bothered. So I much rather just put the veg that I love in, and as I say, whatever veg you've got lying around, it's about the seasoning that's in there that makes the difference. So as I say, the water's nearly coming to the boil. I'll get the noodles on, and then I'll just show it to you once I've dished it up. So that is Pinch of Nom off the website Chop Suey. Okay, so that's a really quick meal. It's taken me, 20 minutes maximum to do the whole thing, which is great. So you can put the noodles in with the chop suey and then dish it up, but I prefer to do the noodles separately because I make sure we get sort of equal amounts. So, which I probably haven't. Go. There's the noodles. And then I can just chop suey on top, and we can mix it up ourselves as we eat it. As you can see, there's plenty there for two of us. It smells like a Chinese. I think it's the fire spice in the ginger that you can really smell. There we go, pork chop suey for two of us.